Hey team, welcome to Xymox Prep. Pretty exciting. Well, not really, whatever, as a raid boss. So there's a few different strats. I had a strat fully planned out, but then Blizzard went and made a change, which has changed what we were going to do. So the plan is to try, I'm not sure if it's going to work out, I know a few guilds are doing it, we're going to try lusting on pull, mainly because the change they made meant you don't need to do the stop DPS any longer. The reason you never used to lust on pull was because you had to stop DPS later in the fight for timings. So we're not going to be doing that. So the way it's going to work is we'll be starting in the center of the room here. So a few things to note first, there's a lock gateway. So the 2 points of portal is star and circle. That's where it will be dropped every single time. Melee will drop on circle, star will drop, ranged will drop on star every single time. So we lust on pull and we burn boss right on the center so we don't have to move him. Utilize that 45 seconds as much as possible. The purpose behind that, we pop absolutely everything, is that if we get enough DPS out, we will be skipping a set of spirits, which makes the timings quite a lot cleaner all the way through the fight, just the way the rotation of abilities work. So what this will mean is there will be one bad overlap as opposed to two, which could be quite nice if we pull it off. So we lust on pull, burn here, then we move boss out to the side here where you see it. We tank him in this direction facing towards the outside of the wall, and you always have your back towards the outside. The reason being that when spirits spawn, they spawn behind you, and then the whole raid, well, whoever gets attacked by spirits, just moves in towards the marker and gets teleported across. Now, I'm going to have when you should jump into the portal in a note, so you don't need to freak out about it. But the three overlaps we're going to have will also be in the note. And the first is so we get one around 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and 4 minutes when we get into the 60% zone. So the first one goes seeds, annihilation, spirits. Then it's spirits, seeds, annihilation. Then it's annihilation, seeds, spirit. That third set is the evil one. And that's primarily why the gate is here, because there's going to be an annihilation happening as the seeds have to be taken out. So for that one, DKs will do 2, and the other 2 will just be some of our high mobility classes. If we've got double mage in, it'll be double mage. And basically all they'll do is collect their marker, their seed, get sucked into the center, portal straight out, and then it's out of the way. Now you will notice we've only got 4 markers done. A lot of guilds do 5. They also do 1 there as well. It's actually not necessary. So with where we have it positioned over here, notice a lot of guilds tank it up here. We're tanking it down here, which means you're far enough away that you can basically ignore this. With the new timings with Lust, you don't have to do this at all. If you watch Complexity Limit Max, whatever his name is, his talk on this fight, he said they always do this one for the first 2, but that was because of the old timings. You no longer get, if with the Lust timing, you will not get a glyph overlapping with the seed. So you don't have the issue of a tank dying to a seed up here somewhere. So effectively, there's going to be 4 carriers every time, and each one of those carriers is going to have an assigned backup, and I've got a weak aura, which you should be able to, the backup focus targets the main person, and if the main person gets Withering Touch, it'll send an announcement to your screen, and then you run across and then you fill for them. So the only time you don't carry is when Withering Touch is up. So in a sense, it's a real simple fight, in a sense, because it's just a case of getting through 3 evil overlaps. Up till 2 minutes, it's an incredibly simplistic fight. And at 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and 4 minutes, there's an overlap we have to deal with. So there's basically 3 sections of the fight that we have to learn and we have to nail down perfectly. Apart from that, it's just exactly the same as Heroic, dealing with traps properly, using our immunities for that. DKs are super strong because they've got their AMS up for every second one, and we've got 2, so they can just alternate, which is pretty handy. But either way, it's just basically the same as Heroic, and just these 4 players, or 8 players, just have to master how to run their seeds out, and then the rest is basically cake. When we get the suck in ability, we will stick ourselves right in here, in this little cubby here, one side or the other, probably the side actually. In this little side here, we'll all tuck ourselves in here, for the suck-in, and we'll get a totem, run totem, and then a roar straight after it, just as it's timing out, because that will also give the seed players the speed movement they need to get out. So the biggest thing for you to make sure is that you know what talents to be using. Really make sure you prep well, do some research, figure out what abilities are best for this boss fight. If you're doing carrying, do some research. If you're not sure, please message me and I'll help you figure it out. Apart from that, make sure you're burning through single target. Healers, you're going to have to do a lot of healing because we're going to be trying to 4-heal it. It is 4-healable. There's quite a lot of guilds are 4-healing it now. We'll be trying to 4-heal it so that way we can really push down a lot of the abilities you have to deal with. With a 4-heal and a blood lost on pull, we should be able to skip an overlap at the end and then skip spirits in the first phase, which is hugely helpful for timings. So we'll be aiming for that. So come prepared, make sure you know what you're doing, burn the boss down, and then we can move on and get a kill on a Nerva as well. Cool. See you then.